Go, little flatty. Oh, perfect.
Wow, good on you, Tommy.
Pure genius. And they catch everything. Excited. We've got 5 days, we've got the caravan, got the kids with us, a couple of kayaks, the surfboards and the bodyboards are in. We are fully loaded, all the stuff for the kids. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you want to come with us and enjoy the trip, show you what it's all about. We've been here before, so it's not our first time, so we know a couple of beautiful spots and some great little fishing spots. We should get onto a bit of fish, lure fishing and bait fishing on this trip. Let's go. Bon. Oh my goodness. Some on a beach campground. Going, Leroy? Go and see him.
Oh, site number 1.
Alright, well I've waited a little while till everyone's awake at camp because we're kind of all on top of each other here. But I can handle that because we're right near the beach. We're literally 50 metres through a couple of bushes and there's the beach. We're all set up. We've got the bikes, bodyboards, there's a surfboard, heaps of fishing gear, so I've got heaps to do. But kids have just had brekkie and let me show you my favourite part of this joint. Come and have a look at this. I didn't film anything last night. We sort of got set up late and then we went for amazing fish and chips up at Point Lookout and then just went for a walk down towards the Gorge Walk just to have a look. But right behind this bin on the other side is a coffee shop and right behind that's the beach. So it's such a beautiful spot and I needed that coffee this morning because the kids were rife last night every couple of hours. But that's the way it goes on the first night till we settle in. So yeah, interesting. But Tommy's hanging to go fishing, hanging to get out surfing, so I can do a bit of that today and explore the island and get a feel for the place. So keep watching, there's going to be plenty to come. We actually early this morning, I got them out of bed early and we went down, well they got me out of bed early, but we went down to the beach, leave mum in bed and they found a shark down on the beach. There was a shark literally just rocked up on the beach. Pretty sad because it had been hooked and then I think the boys, whoever had caught it, had hooked it and gutted it to keep it and then decided to throw it back. So it had washed up on the beach, which I really don't like that stuff. If you're going to keep something, then you got to eat it. But yeah, we sort of used it as a bit of a science education, so the kids could have a look at it, feel the shark, get a look at it, have a look in its mouth, check its teeth out. So that was what's happened this morning. What do you want to do today, mate?
I want to get ice cream.
Ice cream and then what?
And then go surfing.
Surfing, alright. Let's get into it. Do you reckon?
Yeah. Bull, bull. I got $5.
Who
I
from?
got $5. Nanny Costello.
Oh, I've got to show you this. This is down the end of Timben Road. You can jump onto the whale track and it goes for about a K down this way. Here you go, take a look at this. And this is a little lookout. It's number 2, lookout number 2, down from Point Lookout. And it overlooks Frenchman's Beach. Have a look at this quiet little platform. It's really, really good views of the whole coastline of Frenchman's. And we've seen whales out there this morning. It is just stunning this morning. We've got a light westerly. There's some boats out there fishing around these rocky outcrops. Down there, that's Point Lookout down there. And then around the corner is Dead Man's Beach, just around in there. For a little viewing platform and a great little walk, you've got to come and get on this, this little track, the whale track. And there's walking tracks all the way down to the beach. But some great viewing and beautiful, beautiful whale viewing, especially early morning. If you get a light westerly, it clears right out and you can see everything down the end of this is Timben Road, so you don't want to miss that. All right, we'll get back on the track and go and do some surfing, I think, while this westerly's about.
More surfing lessons.
Here comes the little boy. Thumbs up, mate. You good? Alright, we've got a bit of a plan. The kids have gone down for a sleep. They've been wiped out after a morning playing at the beach. So I'm going to see if I can get onto some fish down here, down just south of Amity Point. I've got about an hour and a half. I'm going to throw the kayak in, have a go, just flick some lures around. There's some banks there and it's right at the end of the run out tide, so I'm hoping I can spot a couple of drains or something like that where the flathead are going to be holding and get onto some fish that way. So we've got a heap of lures in. I reckon maybe just throw around a couple of Holt's prawns or something like that. Hopefully I can find a handful of yabbies that we can take down the beach for a fishing session this afternoon once the kids get up. So that's the plan. It's all sort of unknown for me now because I haven't fished Amity Point since it'd be 5 or 6 years ago, and we just sat on the point there and flicked into the raging current. Now it's the end of the tide. It's basically the last hour of the run and it's going to turn around, so I reckon it'll be slowing down. There might be a little bite period there. So wow, look at this. Just arrived at Amity Point. I was hoping I was going to get down around these little retaining walls, but I haven't been able to get down there. You can get access if you can get into that caravan park, but so what I'm going to do, I'll put the kayak in, we're ready to go from the boat ramp.
There's a little jetty here which has got great fishing on it. I've watched the kids bring in a couple of fish while I've been here, and the dolphins come in here late of an afternoon. You can swim here. There's a corner store, some little amenities and stuff. It's a beautiful little spot. Heaps of spots for fishing, but I'm going to try and get around these retaining walls and get onto the sand flats. It's really blowy, so I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll put in, and I've got an hour of power, so I'm going to get after some flathead on these flats, hopefully. Kids are jumping off the jetty, having a great time. He's catching any fish? Just diving. Alright, I'm going to throw this little bait junkie as a starter until we get around this corner. There's a couple of little retaining walls that I reckon some little bream or maybe some little reef fish might sit around the edge of, so I'm going to come around here and have a crack. See, the water's running through here pretty quick. Some crazy jet skiers and big boats coming through, so I've got to be a little bit careful because this kayak isn't great in the chop or the real windy conditions. So what you've got, if you look at the island, it's kind of shaped north to south like an ice cream cone, and there was an early westerly this morning which just made the eastern side just beautiful, really calm and clear conditions, great surf. But as the wind swung around, it's become northerly, and the northerly just kind of wraps the entire island then with wind. It's made it a little bit difficult to try and find a little protected spot, but that's all right. We're going to have a go here. There's a little tucked inside to Emity Point, just south of Emity, that I reckon might be a go for the kayak. And there's a huge channel that runs down right beside Emity. You know, they get big GTs, they get pelagics and tuna and stuff through here. Like I said, the dolphins come in, even sharks have been in here at times. You can get sharks off the pier. Yeah, we'll just see what we can turn up. Hopefully on these flats, I'm guessing this is the first sort of big flat that comes right in close to this channel. There might be some fish on this big sand flat. Oh, there's tons of bait in the water here. Like at some point of the tide that it would have to go off here with trevally and things just going nuts for the bait in here. It's just fully jacked with bait. Oh, there's busting up happening further down. I'll see if I can get onto it. Oh, I don't know if I'll get there. That looked like trevally though. Really keen trevally. Yeah, there's stuff happening. Alright, I reckon. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to make the decisions pretty quick. I'm going to change over and throw on a little surface lure. I'll head back up and I'm going to try that little sugar pen. I've got plenty of lure options in, I've just got to get it right. Whether the hooks are strong enough, I don't reckon. I've got really light gauge hooks on them for like little whiting and stuff, but that's alright. Let's just have a crack. That's what I'm throwing in. Tiny little sugar pen. But the bait's about the same size. Oh my god, I can see big bust ups further down. Holy dooly, I'm not geared up for that. What have I got? Nah, they're just going to bend those hooks out. The idea is with this ripstop, it's super shiny. It's got a huge internal foil on it, runs right the way down the body and puts out a load of flash. So I'm just ripping it, and it looks a lot like a whiting on the flats. Like it's one of the best representations of a diving lure to represent a whiting flickering around on the flats. So I reckon if anything's going to do it, this thing can get it done. This thing is just insane in this clear water, and that colour there I reckon is just beautiful for really open clear water. It's very natural looking. I'm just fishing up into about, it'd be less than a foot of water up there. And then I'm bringing it down to about, we're at about a metre and a half here underneath the kayak. Well, I'm just going to pull up here. There looks like there's a drain that's sort of, or a pool that's just dried out. Give you a look. I'm going to go over. I might end up land-based fishing this. There's a beautiful pool of water that's sitting there, and I reckon maybe that's where my flatty is. Just got to be a little bit careful getting this
motor out. That'll do it. Let's do that, and then I'll pull us up. Alright, there's like a pocket behind me, hopefully you can see that. It drains out, it might drain out, I don't know, a couple 100 metres that way, but it's so blowy that I don't want to head all the way down. I've got to come back, remember? So I'm going to go and throw in around that. I reckon there could be some flathead in there. I'll bring the camera along. Should have brought my chest mount. Alright. Right, I'm just going to rig up one of these little Holt's production prawns. These things are dynamite. Have a look at the little legs on there, like nothing else you've seen before. Pure genius, and they catch everything. So I'm more confident with this than basically anything going in this spot. If I can't get it with this thing, there's nothing in there. I'm just going to throw it on, just take one rod and go and throw into this little pool. It's really dark blue, so there's a bit of depth to it, and I looked on Google Maps earlier today and I could see there was actually like a little creek that runs into the island. There's only a couple, but if it drains out, then the fish have got to wait somewhere, and I reckon the safest spot for them to wait is not on this drop off that I've been fishing where there's trebs and sharks getting around. It's in this pool. Let's go and see if it's feeding time. Come on, bring on some dinner. Give you a look at this pool. This is just unreal. Have a look. Big deep pool. There's a big weed section out through there, and then it drains out back here to the main area. And it's too shallow to have fish sort of coming in at this point, but I reckon they're sitting in here. Hopefully I can get something. Just going to come over this side and have a bit of a go. This is just a little bit embarrassing now. But it's pretty cool because it's in such skinny water, but this is not what I came for and not what I wanted to be on the channel today. They just smash your lures. They're a punish. Yep, yeah, I got one. Yes! What is it? It's only small. Oh, one of these stinking pike again. I can't get away from them. And they are mad because they stink like crazy. And have a look at the teeth on them. Watch this. They're nasty bastards, I think. Have a look at the teeth in there. Oh, they are nasty. So you don't want to get your hands on them, especially if you're fishing with the kids. Look, there's a beautiful sea turtle just coming up there in this tiny little pool. Wow. Oh, there's a couple of them. How awesome is that? It's the home of the little sea turtles, right here, this tiny pond in the middle of nowhere. Take a look at it. Completely shut off from the rest of the system, but there's sea turtles just parked up in here. So sick. How good. Let's see if I can catch a couple more fish and then get back on the kayak. Pike have never and probably will never be my target species in Australia, but I don't mind having a crack, especially when they're every cast. Bit of fun. Got to bring the kids here. That's what you need to do. Perfect for the kids. Yeah. Oh, every cast. at my poor little Hulk production prawn. It's completely just chunted up, but they're just smacking at every cast. Watch this. Literally every cast. Right here. Got it. I'm just a cast length away. Oh, the little flatty! Yes, that's what I wanted! Oh, look at this. That's what I came for. Not the size, but that's the species. Look at that. On the Holt's prawn. Go, little flatty. Oh, how cool is that? I'm just crouched down here right on the edge, right on the drop off here. Beautiful stuff. Literally, I had about a metre of line out. Right, now a couple of tips while I'm fishing this Holt production prawn. You want to be real punchy with it just to get it out of the weed. If there's any weed on the bottom, you need to break through that so it doesn't sit on the jig head. That'll deter the fish. So the rod tip action that I'm using is quite erratic. Tick tick, trying to pop it out of the weed that's down the bottom there, and then the fish are coming along and grabbing it. And another little tip for you, if you're land-based fishing like I am right now, and I don't do a lot of land-based fishing, but when I do, it's all about stealth for me. I've got to come in here and I'm throwing in before I even get to the edge. So when I'm a cast or half a cast distance away from the edge of the bank, I was throwing in here and getting some fish excited, and I caught a couple just doing that before I started actually fishing up by the bank. A little pocket of water like this, you can spook fish. Even when those turtles sense you and they take off, that can be enough to sort of set the whole tone for the fishing session. So I'm really careful not to, spook the fish on the way in until I've caught that first fish or two. All right, well that's going to have to do. I'm going to run out of time, but before I head back, I'm just going to see if I can collect a little bit of bait for our beach session this afternoon. And I've had a bit of a look around. I can't really see any yabby holes, but there are plenty of these soldier crabs, which I don't really use them for bait all that often. I usually prefer to get some live bait, like some live potty mullet or some whiting, or real big whiting, or even just yabbies. But I'm going to grab some of these soldier crabs, I reckon, and they might not be as effective on this side of the island, but head out to the beach and they might just do the trick. So I've got a little bucket. Missus isn't going to like it because it's our lunchbox, but I'm going to use that and fill that, and hopefully got enough bait for the afternoon session. Well, that was wild in the end, coming home in the kayak around Amity Point. The wind is right up, but managed to get home. I've got some live bait, some soldier crabs for this afternoon, so I'm going to head home, pick Lauren and the kids up, and we're going to try and get down on the beach for a little bit of beach fishing in a gutter. We got the bottom of the tide, so hopefully a little bit of forward driving down on the sand and maybe some whiting for dinner, if we can get it done. Flatty this afternoon was the highlight though. I'm stoked. Even though they're small, I love them all. So yeah, I'm pretty happy now at this point. Let's go. Well, some of you boys are going to be relishing in this.
because generally I catch fish when I post a video. There are times when I donut and don't catch anything and still post the odd video, and there's lure reviews where I don't get anything, but I am struggling this afternoon. We've got some bait. The kids have just ended up making good fun of the afternoon, which is what it's all about anyway, but we've got some bait. Here we go, have a look at this. And we've thrown them on the hook. We're sitting here, I've found a gutter on the beach, and I just can't get it done. Not a bite. So the crabs, the pippies, no love. And I'm bait fishing. And the kids are loving it. They don't care what we catch. They're just stoked. They're completely saturated in their clothes. Anyway, hopefully it's a nice sunset, because that's all I reckon I'm gonna get. This has to be one of the best spots to come on the island. If you've got a four-wheel drive, come down onto the eastern side and do some beach driving. It's recommended that you lower your tyre pressure if you're too casual like me on a high tide and you come down here. Yeah, it's not good, and your missus will give it to you for the rest of forever.
What you doing there, my love? Forget to put the four-wheel drive on.
Oh, it's fine.
Don't stress.
Low tide's the best. The sand's hard. You're pretty right. You don't necessarily need to let your tyres down. It's better for your truck, I think, if you do. But yeah, it's beautiful. 53 bucks for a pass, and you can spend a couple of days just really chilling out. There's no one on the beach in sight. They do come past, and you got to just be a little bit careful if you got kids that they're down by the beach and they're not running back up to the car, because it's like a road here. What a spot, eh? What a spot. All right, I don't know what's coming next, but yeah, we'll just keep the video going, and hopefully you're enjoying it. Let me know in the comments if there's something that you like to see when you come here, or if there's something you want to know more about. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section, and I'll get back to you.